No. Let's try something else. Hit it, Joe.
Three idiots sharing memories with fans who watched the show. It's the best of both our worlds.
Welcome to yet another episode of Best of Both Our Worlds, the official, unofficial Hannah Montana podcast, the show where three idiots share our memories with the fans about Hannah Montana, so you get a chance to see the other side of the best damn Disney show ever. Here we are.
Yes, for sure.
I am one of your hosts. I am Jason Earles. I play Jackson Rod Stewart on the show.
Oh, I feel so soothed again. I'm Shannon Flynn. I was the acting coach and a director on Hannah Montana.
I am Douglas Danger Lieblein. I was one of the writers and co-executive producer.
And we're not going to hold it against you.
Thank you.
You guys, we're going to jump into it
right away.
We have a very, very special episode. We do have one of our all-time favorite people here on the show today. Doug, give us a nice formal introduction. So
I'm going to read what the internet thinks of our guests, because I always ask the internet. So, according to the internet, Dahlia Foroutan, am I getting it close?
Yeah,
am I getting it close, Dahlia?
Mr. Lieblein.
Okay. Is an influential costume designer best known for shaping the tween fashion aesthetic of the mid to late 2000s. With a career spanning television, film, and high-profile music performances, she has established herself as a key architect of pop culture style. The internet loves you, Dee. The internet. This literally, I said, "Who are you?"
Really?
And this is what it popped out. She's an Emmy-nominated designer responsible for the iconic costume designs on shows such as The Neighborhood, Hello Jack, Alexa and Katie, Family Reunion, My Wife and Kids, The Wayans Brothers. She's done music videos for Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Tupac. I'm white.
I know.
You
just proved
I
that.
know. Come on. And of course, she was the costume designer for a little TV show called Hannah Montana, as well as numerous Hannah concerts, the concert movie. She basically dressed your childhood and basically everything since. Ladies and gentlemen, Dahlia Foroutan.
Yay!
Yay,
guys. Wow.
Huge
I'm
get, guys.
Yes.
This is a huge get to
I
have
am
you here, Dahlia.
blushing over that intro.
I'm glad you're not already second-guessing your decision.
Oh, wait,
Please
you
don't
wrote
question
that.
your life choices.
You
No,
wrote
I
that.
did not write.
No, you
okay,
did.
I asked a well-known AI that is a friend of mine to write a bio for you. That's all I said. I said because I always am very curious as to what the internet will come up with.
Yeah.
I massaged it a little bit and I fact-checked it,
Okay.
but that's pretty much what the internet
Wow.
thinks of you.
Well, that is very, very nice. I
ringing
loved hearing that. So
well,
thank you.
the internet loves you, Dee.
That's right.
So before we get
What's not
started,
to love?
there is one sweet little niblet, a little trivia question that we will answer by the end, and that is after Hannah Montana wrapped, Dahlia left and worked on another show with one of the other Hannah writers. What was the show and who was the writer? And we will answer that by the end.
Yes, we
That
will.
is very true.
Yes. So we're just gonna it's a barrage of questions for you, Dahlia.
Okay, I'm ready.
We're very excited you're here.
Yes.
So
Okay. Did you always know you wanted to be a costume designer? Did you go to school for it?
No, and ish.
Okay.
So
These are our favorite answers for sure.
Yeah.
okay, so no, I did not know I wanted to be a costume designer. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Okay.
I started in psychology, and then, thank God.
yes,
Why are you looking at Jason?
because we are quirky and it takes some skills to handle.
Oh,
us
you mean
peculiar
just actors in general?
Yes.
Okay.
And writers, and then and directors. No, I'm just kidding. And then I actually changed to photography, which is something I always wanted to do. So my dream was to be like a National Geographic photographer. I wanted to be able to make my own hours, travel for work, choose when and where I work and not. And I loved photography. So, and of course, that was a time when it was real film and dark rooms and paper and printing.
Yes.
Not digital.
God, you're old.
Anything.
You're so old.
I'm much older than I look. and so I started studying that in college, and it started actually, quite frankly, becoming just way too expensive. My parents were like, what's happening? And I was like, I can't pay for it myself. So I switched to fashion, which is something that I always liked. I was like the female buyer for a surf shop I used to work at, Newport Surf and Sport in Newport Beach. And you remember Newport Surf and Sport? That's right. You're from OC. That's right. So I worked there for like 3 or 4 years before we moved back to LA. And I became the female buyer. So I was buying bikinis and accessories. So that kind of gave me a feel for like, oh, I like picking stuff out and I like accessories. I guess I have a good eye, right? So whatever. A friend of a friend had been working on the biggest show on TV at the time in my world, which was In Living Color. I was
Fly
so
Girls.
starstruck. Yeah, I was
Fly
so
Girls.
starstruck over the fact that I knew someone who knew someone that was working on that show. And over hiatus, which is the time in between seasons, now I know, she got a job on a movie. She needed an intern. So they asked me, hey, would you be interested in trying this out? And I was like, I don't know what this
Don't know what you're even
position
asking
is.
me.
But sure, why not, right? So I went, and I have to say, in my recollection, day one, after she showed me around set, and she said, okay, these are the actors, this is what they're going to be wearing. She showed me the clothes hanging. Like I'm seeing all the Hannah stuff behind me. And you got to go on set, take pictures of the actors. You're going to keep continuity. She just showed me all the stuff that a costumer does. And I was like, wow, this is it. I didn't even know this existed.
Right.
And this is it. I want to do this. Mm-hmm. And so I did the rest of the movie, and that movie was about like it was like a spoof on rappers, a fake rap group. And so it involved doing music videos that they were going to cut into the movie. It involved doing ads, like drink ads and stuff like that like were their sponsors kind of. So we were doing commercials, we were doing music videos, and we were doing a movie. And she left and went off to do something else and kind of just left me to do it by myself.
Talk about throwing you into the deep end.
She threw me into the deep end, but like I swam and I loved it. And so I think I did a good job. I must have done a good job because then when In Living Color season came back around, she had gotten another job. She didn't go back to In Living Color, so she referred me, and they hired me. I was 21 years old. I had virtually no experience. They hired me on In Living Color on like a test, 2 weeks test time or whatever. So I came in, worked my ass off, and they kept me for the season. And so I ended up working there. The show had already been on for 2 or 3 years. I think it went 4 years. So now I'm 22 years old on the biggest show, one of the 10 costumers in this big, huge department, basically wardrobe boot camp. Like after that show, I knew I could do anything.
Oh my God.
And now the second year I'm there, I'm the stylist for the Fly Girls.
Nice.
So I learned how to do costuming, which is very different than styling, but I learned how to do both. Like literally, and I was a baby and I was a sponge and I was so happy to be there and wanted to learn.
We're good
For
now.
those who don't know, In Living Color was one of the biggest sketch comedy shows on television
Ever.
Yeah. It launched Jim Carrey.
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. It launched
All
the
the
Wayans
Wayans.
brothers.
Chris Rock.
And who was the most famous Fly Girl that came out of?
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
J-Lo. Yep, she was a Fly
So,
Girl.
like, to be on the ground floor of all of that with all of these people who like went on to these big amazing things,
Yeah.
as did you.
Yes.
When it came to Hannah, what is the hiring process look like? Where did you where did that opportunity sort of like come from, and what was the process like for you getting hired there?
It's so funny because when people ask me this question, I literally can only say the same thing over and over again. I have no idea why they called me. I have no idea where they got my number. Richard King, our producer.
Richard King was the one that called
me.
you?
Yep,
Okay.
he called. I have no idea where they got my number. I have no idea why they called me. I had zero experience in anything in the kids' world I didn't want the job. When I went to get, when I went for the interview, I went because I was asked, and I wasn't gonna not go to a job interview. So I went, but I was like, a kids show.
Damn.
Like that was in a world I had never been, and no disrespect, but I was like, I ain't doing no stupid kids show. Like I didn't know what Hannah Montana was. I don't have kids, so I wasn't watching Disney Channel. Yeah. So I'm like, what is this? Like, and so I had heard of it, but I didn't know anything about it. So I watched some of the episodes and I was like, oh, okay, so this is a girl, she's a rock star, da da da. And I was used to primetime TV and like, you know, addressing adults and comedy and all of this. This is comedy, but this was so out of my world. I didn't know, like, can I even do this? I'm not used to the bright colors and the gags and all that stuff, right? You have normal gags on regular shows, but not like what I expected
like
was
her
going
in
to
a big duck costume.
Well, all of it.
Falling into chocolate
pools
of chocolate pudding.
All of that, exactly. You have regular stuff on primetime, but not stuff like that. Anyway, so I go to I said, Dahlia, just do it. This will be, and I literally remember saying to someone, this will be a good practice for other shows.
Right.
Because up until now, I hadn't had to really go in and meet with a network before, or do like a full-on presentation like most designers do. Because Cube I already knew, the Wayans I already knew. They just said, come do our show. Like I didn't have to interview ever before. So this was, and I'm just realizing it right now as we're talking about it, my very first time I ever had to put together an actual physical presentation as a designer to say, hey, this is what I would do for your show. Never done it before. So I did it. I did whatever I thought was it, which was basically getting big boards, there was no internet at the time, not like we have now. So I had to go through magazines. I walked around Melrose taking pictures of photos in the stores. And what's funny is one of the photos I took was of the leather jacket with the crisscross elastics on a mannequin in the window of a Melrose store. And I was like, oh, I've never seen anything like that before. That's cool. And I used it as an example of how I would dress her. I put together these big ass boards for all the characters, yours too, and Billy Ray's. And Billy Ray, what's funny is I couldn't find anything in windows or in magazines of how I would dress him. So what I did was I took my best friend at the time, who is now my husband, into Melrose stores, put clothes on him and took pictures of him and cut him off at the neck and used those photos as Billy Ray.
Nice.
Just like a little Western, a little rock and roll. So I just literally just said, okay, this is a good practice. It'll be fun. And I'm just going to do it. So I did it. And then I went into the Disney studio and our offices and I had a meeting. I remember Christina Espinoza was one of the people that were there. I came, I did my thing. I did not give a shit whether I got this job or not. I was like just being myself. My heart wasn't pounding. I wasn't nervous. I remember walking in going, bitch, you're not even nervous. Brought these things in, threw them down on the table, and I just talked to them. And I was like, this is what I would do. And they're like, well, what excites you most about this show? And I was like, that it's in Malibu, that it's at the beach. Yeah. Because I grew up in Newport Beach and I was a beach girl, I just talked about myself. I would love to dress people, in board shorts and t-shirts. I've never been able to do that on a show before. Everything I've ever done always takes place in the East Coast. I literally just talked about that. And I was like, yeah, I think we can make Hannah better. We can do this, this, this. Walked out and I could see by their faces, everyone was like, They were all smiling at me, and I'm thinking, oh, no. Oh, no.
Guess what you just booked, Dahlia?
So I remember just being in there. I kept looking up, and everybody was smiling. And I was like, this is weird. This is not what I expected from network execs, right? So I gather my stuff. And I'm like, okay, bye. Nice to meet you guys. And I'm thinking, please don't ever let me see your faces again. I don't want anything to do. What am I going to do if they offer me this show? I haven't worked in like a year. Soon enough, Richard King calls me and says, we want to offer you the show. They loved you. And I was like,
My rate just doubled.
I was like, I'm going to have to think about it. Mm-hmm. And I talked to my parents, I talked to my friends, and I was like, you guys, I don't know what to do, but I can't say no. Like, how can I say no to a show?
Right.
Okay, so I'll do it, and if I get offered something else, I'll go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut to 4 years later.
Cut to 20 years later, and we're still talking about it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
So are you happy that it worked out that way?
yeah, I am. I can't say I was happy the whole time I was there that it worked out that way because it was
It's a challenging show.
very stressful. Yeah, it was still to this day, I think it's the most challenging show I've ever had.
Yeah.
Doug and I became really close because he helped me cut through some of the
political network,
yeah,
and some of the bull that you have to deal with up top.
yeah,
you know.
and getting clarity from
what
downstairs, which
people
was the writers'
were actually
room.
asking for.
Yeah,
because again, communication is a huge part of life, and some people just don't know how to communicate properly.
And
you were getting mixed signals a lot of the time.
Yeah. So just as a quick backup, I'm just going to pick up where I stopped, which was in Living Color, and I'm just going to give you a quick rundown. Mm-hmm. After In Living Color, I went on tour with Salt and Pepper, and I did the Salt and Pepper, R. Kelly, Very Necessary tour. And then I did music video after music video after music video.
This is why you got called.
This is why you got the call. You had sitcom experience and music experience, concert experience. It's exactly all of the.
Yeah.
And remember, Hannah was about being fashion forward. We talked about this in previous episodes. Yep. We had to be on the cutting edge, but we shot 8 months earlier.
Yeah.
So we needed somebody who could create the trend as opposed to follow the trend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You hit all those buttons. That's why you got that phone call.
But the question is, Richard King is a crusty old white guy.
Yeah,
how did he find Dahlia?
That's the big question.
How did
That
they?
may be.
And also working on a show like In Living Color, which was like on the cutting edge of fashion, especially with the Fly Girls.
Yeah.
Like, and being able, you have to do it fast.
Yes.
Like, what if there's a sketch and then that sketch gets cut and it gets replaced with something
That's
else?
always what happened. Always.
How do you do that? So yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, that sets you up beautifully for the sitcom world.
So how do you approach that? How do you plan on, okay, we're going to pick an outfit for the Fly Girls or for Hannah that may not right now be the thing, but in 8 months I'm going to make this the thing. Do you think like that? Do you think fashion forward ahead, or are you just going, I like it?
I got you. You want the honest answer?
Yeah.
Number 2.
I like this.
You just trust your own taste. And
Yeah. Have I seen it a lot? No. Do I like it? Yes. Can I see it working? Yes.
And that's it.
That's it. Most designers and stylists especially do research. I wouldn't even know how to research. Like,
That's amazing.
what's the next trend? What's coming up? I don't know.
Well, and I think you have something that you brought with you that you were like, oh, I really like this. And then we styled something off of that for our girl.
I did. Yeah. Should I bring it out?
Yeah, bring it out.
So, okay. So over hiatus. So anyone that watches the show knows that the first season, first of all, I didn't do first season.
Correct.
I didn't do first season. I started second season. So the second season, when I came in, I bumped up her rock and roll kind of feel. So I put her in a lot of leathers and like rocker style t-shirts and bedazzled and all that stuff. I kept the skinny scarf because that had already been established in the first season, and I knew that the audience that was a thing already. And so I wasn't going to mess
It was
with
like one
that.
of her icons.
There was a whole episode about
Absolutely.
scarves.
Yeah.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to try to take away anything that first season had created. They wanted me to bump up the look a little bit. So I just wanted to add. I didn't want to disrespect or change anything.
Right.
I just wanted to add to it and kind of give it like a gradual and natural progression throughout her maturity. Anyway, so the first season, it was very rock and roll. The second season, we wanted to come in with something different, change it up a little bit. So over hiatus, I was traveling and I was in London, and I went to a store, which we didn't even know existed back then. It was Topshop. which became huge out here afterward, of course, because I shopped there and put Hannah's. Just kidding.
I mean,
You're kidding a little, but it's true.
Yeah.
So I was just shopping for myself, whatever, and I came across a few things that I was like, oh my gosh, this would be so great on Hannah. This would be great to like kind of change her look up a little bit. So I found, now it doesn't look like such a big thing because this is a little bit more normal now. But I found this and a few of these little very, very cute, bouncy little tutus with cute prints on them. I bought a few of them thinking, okay, this could be something that we use on the show for sure. There's a couple other ones with other really cute prints, and I'm thinking, okay. And I got some really big like neck pieces and stuff like that. Over hiatus, I took the chance to just do it, and if they pay me back, they do, and if not, then you know, it's to my advantage.
You'll just wear that
For those
around
who are listening as opposed to watching on YouTube, it's a short little skirt with some like lipstick, like kiss almost prints on it.
And it's a layered tutu, but it's very light in fabric and
bouncy.
A little flowy
It's
and bouncy.
flowy and bouncy.
and still long enough to make the
appropriate-ish.
modesty mark
Yes,
that
but
is required.
short enough that, which it's very short, that Miley, as her own person, would want to wear it and like
Correct.
it. Because as you can tell, it has a very low waist. If this was a higher waist, it would be like that, shaped more like that.
Right.
Right? So it's wider waist, meaning that it sits lower on the hips, but it's still very, very short. It basically just covers the butt. But I thought, okay, that's really cute because Miley would like it. It's not something we've seen a lot of. Being in London, in such a fashion forward place, like that's the type of thing I counted on. Going places that would have things that would give you a little bit more of an insight as to what's coming up.
Yeah.
And at that time, that was one of the places that did that.
Amazing.
So I trusted anything. So I got that. And then what we did with that in particular was we not only incorporated tutus into her look for the show, but when it came to doing her 16th birthday party at Disneyland, my favorite thing was those tutus. And so Miley and Tish gave me full reins of like, what do you want to do? This has nothing to do, like the show can't decide. We can help you, but if you, whatever you want to do it. So I decided my favorite look for her was the tutu look, and I knew she was going to be dancing, and I know she loves swaying her hips. So we knocked basically off, we got the pattern from that skirt right there, knocked it off, and used different fabrics and created like a white and gold, little sparkly tutu, and we fluffed it out even more. We added more layers so it would be more dramatic, and did her whole like little white vest, had a big sparkly 16, sweet 16 on the back, did the little sparkly tutu, and then did all her dancers in like little tuxes. But that was my favorite. If you guys are going to ask me, because a lot of people ask me, what's your favorite thing you ever dressed Miley in? I think doing that concert, doing that Sweet 16
at the park,
at the Disneyland when they shut down Disneyland.
Yep.
That was also one of my favorite nights, aside from what I got to do.
I wasn't invited, you guys. Turns out I wasn't invited.
Neither was I.
God, I was
No,
not
you're not. No, you're not.
I was
serious.
not invited to the 16th birthday.
None of the
invited.
cast was there. I didn't
We
even
were not
realize
invited,
it.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, you're picking scars that have long since healed, but it's fine.
And I got to bring some friends because I needed help.
Outstanding. Yeah.
Yeah, because I needed help dressing. We had like all these dancers and Miley. So I brought my besties that worked on the show and didn't. And we got to dress them, and she did the concert and we saw it, and then we got to run around the park. There were maybe a few thousand people in the entire park. It was all shut down. But all the employees were there.
So a few thousand people went and Jason didn't
That's
get an
it.
invite?
I bet if I bought a ticket,
They
I
weren't.
probably could have gone.
They weren't invited. These were people that had to buy tickets.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so
Like,
but you didn't even get the opportunity to buy a ticket.
I can't believe.
That's fine. Moving on.
Anyway, it was
Do you
the
have? Okay, let me
best
ask you
night
this
of
Okay,
question.
so that was your favorite Miley outfit.
That was my favorite Miley outfit.
So actually, this might. I had a question a little earlier, and maybe this is like this answer to this question will explain that.
Yeah.
What is the process like actually of getting an outfit picked? Like, how does the show choose it? I know there's like you got the lineup, and then who makes the final say? How do you balance like what the actors like preferences are versus what the network wants? Like just the actual, like, you bought a bunch of stuff, you have choices. What does that process actually look like? And then how did you end up with a bunch of outfits you don't like? Basically.
Well, the truth is, first of all, the network or the studio have their opinions. Your executive producer sometimes has their opinions. Your actors sometimes have their opinions. Well, not sometimes, always. These are always factors. Yeah. And sometimes the episode, the scene just calls for it.
Oh, yeah. We need the swan dress mock-up.
Yeah, right. Which is, I love stuff like that. Right. But stuff.
By the way,
like
at the premiere of the 20th, a guy came. Two different people came in the goose dress.
You're
in the
kidding.
Bjork.
Your
which is
goose
actually
dress.
Bjork. It was actually Bjork. So
right, but you remade it as a goose dress. So
made
20
it
years
on
later, you're still wearing what you're doing.
Aww,
so anyway,
that's nice.
And which, by the way, was also like had the little flouncy skirt that you were just talking about with all the layers and was bouncy. Anyway, continue.
And even when we did the duck, she was in like a walk around duck costume.
We
made the booty really big too. She's like, make it bigger, make it bigger. So we made a really big booty so she could. It was all about that. It was all about having that little at the bottom.
100%.
Okay, the first step in my process, or anybody's process, is reading the script. So that's where I get the most of my information, is the script. But the writers aren't writing like, what does the costume designer need to know? What does the set decorator need to know? What they're writing, and they're creative, and they're writing. And this is the show that I learned that on. This is the show that I learned. They're not thinking about you. They're just thinking about what they want to see on the screen, and you just need to do it. Yeah. But I had so many questions all the time because it wasn't always clear. It's never really always clear. And so I was always reaching out and trying to come in there and call. I was always calling them. Yeah. Hi, can I ask some questions?
Dahlia's on the line. Dahlia's on the line for you. Dahlia's on the line for you. Dahlia's on the line. I know. Dahlia has questions.
You know what, though? You unlocked a memory for me, which was we would be rehearsing on stage, and they were sometimes like we would have 3/4 of a setup. Maybe it wasn't painted yet. Maybe like just so we had a space to rehearse in, and then after we were done, they would go and finish. But I remember you coming down with pieces and holding them up against the paint that was on the wall, or talking with Jerry Dunn and being able to make sure that whatever she was wearing was whatever any of the characters were wearing was gonna pop and not clash.
Pop was the word.
That was the word. Pop. If anybody says pop to me,
Pop.
No,
it's not gonna pop. Is that gonna pop? Is it gonna pop?
What were some of like those sort of challenges that most people wouldn't like think like? So does the outfit pop against the background? Is one like messy stuff, stunt stuff? Like what were the challenges that outside of just finding cool clothes for us to wear? What did you have to take into account?
Okay, so we would read the script and we would see there was a few things we're looking for in the script as costumers that we need to figure out, which is going to answer your question directly. It is, first of all, how many days? How many script days? Meaning, when you're watching the show, how many days pass in this story? Yeah. Right. So that affects everybody. That affects everybody that is seen on camera. Because how many times do they have to change? How many times does everybody need to change? Now, just to say, because sometimes people ask me, you guys haven't asked me yet because you know the answer, I didn't dress just Hannah.
Of course. Me
and my department. Yeah. We dressed everybody that goes on camera. A lot of people think, oh, you dressed Hannah and Miley. No, we dressed the entire show. Anyone that steps foot in front of the camera has gone through wardrobe and has 99.9% of the time been dressed by us. Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes background people will come with their own stuff, or an actor that wants to wear their own things.
I know. Well, that's actually one of the questions.
2 of my faves. Yeah. We'll talk about that later. They come with their clothes, but they still have to come through wardrobe. I still have to have eyes on them, and I will choose what they wear. Unless they don't have options, I will approve what they wear, right? And it's all based on what I'm about to tell you, which is how many days, what's going on in each day, meaning are they coming from sleeping? Are they coming from school? Are they going to work? Are they going out in the rain? What's the temperature? What time of year are we talking about? Most of the time on this show, luckily, because it took place in Malibu, even though Malibu is cold a lot of the time, whether it was unless it was morning or evening, it was summer.
Yeah.
Which was made it so easy, and I love that because I'm a summer girl. So what's happening during that day? Is someone throwing up on them? Are they spitting up something? Is Miley doing eating something? And I ask that because if you have one outfit and you're eating something, you spill it on yourself, what are we going to do when we need to start the scene over, or when we need to
obviously wash it and wait 2 hours?
Right. Obviously, and nothing stains. So that means we got to get duplicates. Right. How many duplicates do we need? So then I need to talk to the director, or I need to talk to the producers and say, how are you going to shoot this? Are we going to shoot? What order are we shooting the show in?
Right.
Because you don't shoot in order.
I know as an actor, I would get nervous sometimes if there was a physical, messy bit.
Yeah.
And one of the questions I would ask as an actor is, how many shots do I have at this? Like,
meaning how many duplicates?
How many duplicates
of
do we have?
clothing
Because
do
if we only have 3 of those outfits, and I can only get 2 of them dirty, that means I get to do the bit twice and either make it work or...
Because we have to keep one clean.
Yeah.
Right.
So that when we shoot the scenes that take place prior to the scene, you need clean clothes. And or every time they want to reset the scene and you want to try it again, you got to start clean again.
Yeah. But a little technical thing is also sometimes when it was a really messy thing, like for example, I'm thinking of that beautiful suit that you had in the teen court. That Miley wore this beautiful suit in teen court where she was pretending to be a lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
And we dropped spaghetti on top of her.
Yes.
And I was like, we would shoot right up until the spaghetti dropped.
I love up until. That's what I always say. Are we doing up until? Are we doing up until? Can we please do up until?
And basically, it's literally just you clean up the entire scene, have everything shot, you're happy with all of your options, all the way up until the moment somebody gets dirty. And then you do it.
And then you do it one time, hopefully
you can do it once.
And then you move on from there.
So that means we don't need a bunch of duplicates of the clothes.
But also, what you know, which I want everyone else to know is how many days, how many outfits, how many duplicates, and how many people am I dressing?
Yes.
Right.
The reason all that is important to you is because your budget isn't changing. It's not if we do a show that takes place over 6 days, or we do it that takes place over 1 day, you have a finite amount of money to do all of this in. So that's where it factors. That's why you have to know all these things, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And we haven't even mentioned, is she Miley or is she Hannah?
Oh, right.
Right.
And the amount of time it takes to switch her over.
Right.
And how many times is she Miley and how many times is she Hannah?
Correct.
And are they in the same scene, or are they saying just a whole bunch of
And
stuff?
also the other thing is, for us, it was in what set is it in?
Yes.
Right? Because if it's in a set with a big red wall, you can't put her in that red, thing because she.
So that's why I would do what you saw me doing.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Most shows, if you're on a big red wall and you want to wear this, you can't, obviously, on any show. Because
she's wearing a red sweater
I'm wearing
vest.
a red,
for anyone who's listening to this.
Yes, I'm wearing a little red vest. You cannot put it on a big red wall because basically you're going to blend in with the background.
Correct.
Now,
you look like a floating head.
that was, yes. But on this show, that's normal. But on this show, the concern about the blending was beyond anything I had ever experienced in my life. So if the wall was any shade of blue, it's fine to put usually another blue, something that doesn't blend.
Right.
But nothing could get close. Nothing could get close to the color.
Right.
So that was something that very much affected us. So if we come down there, like you said, the sets are partial. They're partially done.
Yeah.
So if I come down and I say, oh, okay, so this purple outfit works for Miley. She's going to wear it in this scene. So now we work around Miley. We choose what our main character is going to wear first. So we always figured out what Hannah or Miley was going to wear first, and then we work everybody else's colors around. So not only they can't be wearing the same color as the walls, the couch, any artwork on the walls, anything around, but the other characters. Every character has to be in a different color or a different print. So it is literally a puzzle that we start with reading the script and then breaking down the script, meaning what we talked about, the days, what are they doing, how many duplicates, but then the physical, getting these things together and not blending with the set, not blending with each other.
So you have to do this incredible Rubik's Cube math puzzle and still be fashion forward and create outfits that people want to wear.
And appease the studio.
The piece of studio, the network, the executive producers, all those other people.
Everybody
make the actors feel
Yeah, no,
comfortable enough to actually wear the stuff.
And make the actor happy.
Okay, speaking of actors.
Yes.
Speaking of who was on our show, who was the hardest person to dress and why was it Jason?
Correct. That's the
That's not how it went.
Yeah.
Let me think.
Yeah. No, you don't have to. Wait. Was Jason just the biggest pain in the ass in there?
No, Jason. Okay, you don't have to say anything. I'm going to say something first. Jason hated coming to wardrobe.
Why?
He tried to
You
act
guys
like
were
he
great.
didn't. Listen, he tried to act like he didn't, which was the civilized thing to do. But he hated it.
Why?
And I thought he hated me.
No, really?
Yes.
Jason, I
That's
thought
crazy.
you hated me.
No.
I don't take it personally usually. I do not take it personally because a lot of people do not like going to wardrobe, especially women. I had never had a man not like going to wardrobe before. So I didn't know what was happening. And here's what would happen. He'd come in and obviously
this is great.
I know.
This is good.
This is I'm going to tell you later. So he would come in and we'd start wardrobe and his whole demeanor was like, for those of you who are not watching and who are listening, it is a very straight face, no eye contact, and just kind of looking down at the ground and just being there. Okay, basically saying without saying, do with me what you will, but I'm not happy about it. So I kept thinking to myself, what's the big deal? He's wearing board shorts and t-shirts, like button-down shirts. What could be the problem? Flip-flops, like what could be?
And he
I
looked
always,
great. He looked great.
I always felt very walking on eggshells. Are you okay? I don't know if you remember. Are you okay with these shoes? Are you okay in these pants? Because I thought you hated the clothes. I thought you hated me.
That's so
I know what it was.
interesting.
Do you
I
know
think
what it was,
you
Jason?
finally
I know.
told
Do you
me.
know what it was?
I'm curious. I think I know what it was because it was me.
Tell
But
me.
Yeah.
Tell me what it was.
no, I don't want to taint the well. What was it? What was it?
Well, it was that almost everything we put on you had to be altered. So not only it took a longer time because we always had to pin everything, but because you were in between sizes,
Yeah.
I couldn't ever find clothes that just
Now, when you say
fit.
between sizes, what you really mean...
This is where Doug's gonna say something where I am gonna hang myself in a closet.
Yeah.
I don't
No. Like,
You
no,
bash on me for being old.
No, but that is where it was never a matter of
I know.
whether I loved Dahlia or anybody.
Yeah.
Because I did try to be like respectful in that, like at the end of the night I would hang my clothes and I'd try to bring
You
it back
were.
and like show
No, you
appreciation. What it really was is again, like I think the underlying theme for the show was there was a lot of imposter syndrome. There was a lot of like not a tremendous amount of self-love for myself during the show. And I am a short guy and I am between sizes.
Yeah.
I don't wear like husky boy stuff and I'm not quite big enough for man stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
But like
that's what it was.
I was also like, since everything had to be pinned, when I first put everything on, I just look like a big box. And my
because
proportions,
everything was always too big.
my proportions were just wrong.
Yeah.
And so I was so self-conscious, which you would think that as a grown man like that wouldn't affect you, that like a teenager thing.
Yeah.
But it just was
It
really
did. No, it
was
really
a
did
really,
affect you. I know
Yeah.
it did because I was there witnessing it.
I was so
and I would
self-conscious
never
about
have
it, yeah.
anyone else come in to help. I was always like, just let me do Jason.
Yeah, and I definitely like I feel.
So you
I
were
feel-
the biggest pain in the ass.
No, well, I feel bad that like I gave off an air of like as if you were afraid that I didn't like you because that was never ever the case. It really was a matter of like I didn't like myself very much.
Yeah. Well,
And-
I'm sorry to.
and-
I'm sad to hear that.
No,
Because
I
you're
mean,
wonderful.
but it's like you know, time has passed
Yeah.
and I've accepted this disgusting shell that no, it's fine, guys. But seriously, don't look at the Rico shirt from like the nipples down, because it does not. But literally, like I think it was just, like you get really self-conscious, and then like seeing how much everything had to be altered, you're just like you can't help but like internalize that a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, but you look,
Yeah.
you looked great
And it
the
wasn't
whole
a big
time.
deal. I mean, here's the thing. Like we, I think of what I just came off of. I just came off The Neighborhood with Cedric the Entertainer. he doesn't just step into clothes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like everybody has their thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
I think
like,
I get it more now. I think that was also the first show that I was on.
Yeah.
And then you see like, all the other kids are like, they're good looking
Yeah.
and they're fit and like they just throw stuff on them.
and
like,
they'd come
they
in
look, they're
and
so
be
fast.
out in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
and
okay, we got it.
And it was like, we've run out of pins. We don't have enough pins. There was a pin shortage, and it's this guy's fault. And I think like by the time I got to kicking it, I was like, yeah, man, throw me in whatever. Like I don't care. Like this is what it looks like. It's fine.
That's where the psychology part comes in.
Yeah.
And that's why I say I'm really glad that I did study psychology, because a lot of designers don't, quite frankly, care what people feel.
Right.
And they don't pay attention to what people are feeling. And I read people, and so I knew not to make a big thing of it. Like I would whisper, I would stick my head out of the curtain and say, hey guys, da 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 da. And I would not let him hear it. I knew that
I'm such
didn't.
a baby.
No, you're a person, dude.
You know
You're
what,
a person.
though? Can I just say, though, when a person feels good in the wardrobe that they're wearing, it shows on camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
Like, if you feel good in the clothes that you're wearing,
Yeah.
it's going to make your performance that much better. And if you feel like crap or you think that you look like crap, it's just, like, you can't hide that.
Yeah. If you already had imposter syndrome going on, like that just adds to it. Like, like, and I knew that it was about that because I could tell every time I'd pull a pin out, you'd go. So like, but it's fine. I mean, I get it. Trust me, I've dealt with people that have been harder, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just stuff goes on in your head. You're a person.
And I know we're off script, but as long as we're talking about the actors that you brought in. And we knew, because we were there, that Jason in wardrobe was one feel. Miley in wardrobe was a completely different.
Oh my God, the opposite.
Yeah.
Right.
No one could have been more confident in and out of clothes.
Yeah.
What was that? I mean, did you have to, when you're, I've been with that fashion forward stuff.
Yeah.
Are you catering to the, this 14, 15-year-old girl, what they like? I mean, what do you?
No, not in the beginning.
Right.
In the beginning, she was so young and she was so happy to be there. Everything we'd put her in, she'd be like, oh my God, I love this. Tish, I love that. Molly, don't you love it?
Yeah.
So
Well done.
that's what, thanks. We used to use the accent all the time in the ad.
Same.
We were like, we all are. She's crazy. We all are. So Tish at first would have to be there because Miley was underage.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
So Tish would just sit there and Miley would put on the stuff. Oh my God, we love it. So everything was always, we love it, we love it, we love it. So she was really, really excited. And so really we were just doing what the network wanted, what our EPs wanted, what the show called for, and trying to make it as good as possible. But another thing we haven't talked about, one of the other aspects that we really had to cater toward was the audience.
Right.
Like I came on this show thinking it was teens.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, they were like, no, girl, this is tweens. And I said, what the heck is a tween? Like I've never heard that word. 6 years old to 11. And not just like, whoa. Babies, like this is for little kids.
Right.
Okay, so it has to be like a cartoon. Right. And that's what I had to like kind of adjust my brain to look at stuff like, is it cartoony enough? Is it bright enough? Is it playful enough? Will kids respond to this? So that was the other thing of like the colors and the textures and the swinginess of the skirts.
Well, like for example,
and
I know you have some goodies from
Right.
show
Yes,
and tell,
absolutely.
and there's some stuff you had to alter to make
most things
brighter or bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Most things we, I'll show you. Like you asked me earlier, like aside from all these things we have to consider and how do we put it together, like some people ask like, where did you find stuff? Sometimes we just didn't find stuff. So we would find things, you run out because we didn't have the internet to shop at that time.
Yeah.
Right.
We were shopping literally in the streets. We were going everywhere from, all the big department stores to Melrose, which was really helpful because Melrose was like the
Yeah.
more trendy, fashion forward, funky stuff that you don't see all the time. A lot of leathers, a lot of like bright, a lot of punk stuff we would get
Yeah.
from there. For Lily.
But
Yeah,
you
I
would-
was
and
going to
you
say
would-
the punk stuff for Lily was like
we had so much fun dressing Lily.
the Creepers versus the Doc Martens and
I
stuff
love
like
that.
oh, so good.
Yeah.
So good.
So what we would do a lot of times is find pieces that we like the shape of, and we would alter them. We would either shorten them, which I have one example of. We would bedazzle them. We would dye them, which I have an example of. We would paint them. Sometimes we would have it painted so that it would have like a texture, so it didn't look like a regular old leather.
Yeah.
Well, why
all
don't you show
kinds of
us?
stuff.
Show
Yeah.
us what you've got
Okay.
because,
I'm gonna
and
see
we'll have Jason describe the.
Try them on.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
We know how I feel about that.
Okay, so just for the record, I have these items because, as we spoke, we needed duplicates of a lot of stuff, right? So when there was like duplicates of something, and I knew that it was kind of a favorite, or the network really responded to it, or Miley responded to it, I would put off to the side. I would keep. At the end of every season, you have to pack everything up and put it in storage. But then we would continue doing spot dating with Miley for concerts and all this different stuff. And sometimes they wanted her to be as Hannah, so I would keep certain things off to the side to have them. And then once available. And then once we wrapped the show completely, I found myself with some items that I guess
As you
maybe I
do.
wasn't
Sometimes you
wasn't
it just
completely
ends up in
ready
the
to
closet
just
and you
let
weren't-
go of.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
sometimes it just
Oh, so what do you have? What can we see?
So, so this right here is one example of something that I'm sure you recognize she wore. So this was a longer, like, I don't even
Can you describe
remember.
what
Yeah,
this is?
so this is a light pink leather and satin jacket that has pink and clear crystals trimming all of the detail of the
It's beautiful.
satin all over it.
And so you had to shorten
And it's
it.
iconic. If you watched Hannah, you've seen her in it.
Yeah.
Right.
So this was white, and it was longer, and obviously there were no crystals on it.
Right.
So what we did was we cropped it to make it a bolero. We probably shortened, we shortened the sleeves, we shortened the body. We sent it to dye. We dyed it pink, knowing that the satin and the leather, the different textures of leather would come out different pinks. So
Oh,
it came out
nice.
really nicely. We were really, really, really happy with it. And then we sat and by hand crystallized the whole
labor
thing.
intensive. How long do you think it would
Yes.
take to like from an initial article of clothing to done? Like how much time is that?
Oh, probably like weeks, because what we would do is we would find pieces, we would come up with ideas of like, okay, this will be really great, let's send it to dye and see what happens. It was kind of a process, and we didn't do it per episode.
Right. You just
We
created
would
a
do
big-
it,
Yeah.
have it sitting there and ready to go.
Right.
And then if we needed to bedazzle it, we would. Or if we needed it, shortened or whatever, we had an in-house tailor at all times.
Of course.
Because we were always changing stuff up. So we would do the basics and create a piece, and then kind of either have it ready like this, standing by, or partially ready, and then we would just adjust it to whatever was necessary.
So if you're listening to this, we're going to take pictures of all the things that Dahlia is
And you can see them in the
mentioning, and you
YouTube
can go to
channel.
our social media, and we'll be able
Yeah.
to see those things.
But then we would also, like, as I said, on my travels, I would pick up stuff on Melrose. We would.
But
pick
you
up
would,
stuff.
as
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
told story, we told this in previous podcasts.
Yeah.
We took stories that had been done before or things that a normal kid goes through, and we Hannafied it.
Right,
Right.
right.
We made it a Hannah episode.
That's what I would do.
And that's what you would do with it. You would buy something at H&M or Forever 21, and
Yeah.
you would Hannafy it.
Totally.
So,
Like-
and what about
Yes.
that one?
This
the one that's
next
right there. No,
one.
it's right,
Oh,
right there.
this. Yes, the next one. Oh, and I even have her fitting photo here.
Well, it was a little Miley fitting photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miley fitting photo. Can the camera catch that? I don't
Well,
know.
we'll take a picture.
Oh, you'll take
Yeah.
a picture. Oh, okay. So this is another good example. Oh, and it's Arden B too.
Yeah.
So I guess that was one of our stops.
It is a blue studded leather jacket that
with gold
she
studs.
wore as Hannah.
Yeah.
It's iconic. You again have seen this before.
Yeah.
But it didn't start out that way, did it?
No, it was black. It had these gold studs, and I only know that because I saw a picture of it recently on the interwebs today on Instagram. So this used to be the only thing we did to it was have it dyed. But this is a good example of something that we did. We didn't have it dyed. We had it painted. Sorry. The reason I had it painted was because it was already black, so you can't dye black.
Of course.
So I was like, all right, and I want it to have some like texture, right? So a black leather jacket isn't going to do anything for Hannah, right? So we're like, what can we do with it? We love the studs, we love the shape, so we had it painted, and then we may have done a little bit of sanding to kind of
texture it up.
Yeah, to texture it up a little bit. But this is
age it.
I thought this was pretty cute.
It's
Cool.
totally cute.
And then you have
There's one other thing.
no. There's two other things, right?
Yeah, there's two other.
There's two others.
Oh yeah, two other things.
Well, you have the tennis outfit, which is
I do have the tennis.
which
outfit.
is a big thing for me because
Is this your episode?
no, it was an episode that first of all, she has the Hannah Montana tennis outfit
Yes.
that she wore, which as you all look at that, I will tell very briefly the story of how Miley came up to us. We were thinking of this episode, and we said, "Can you play tennis?"
Yes.
And she said, "Oh, sure, yeah, I know how to play tennis. I play tennis all the time." And then we wrote an entire episode, and we built an entire wardrobe, and then we got to stage, and she was like, "What's this racket thing?"
Well, she had played like knocking a ball over the net.
Yeah,
but
I mean, we're like,
she hadn't.
no, we meant, and
Real
we
tennis.
weren't clear enough. We were like, do you really know? Like, we weren't clear enough. And so we ended up with a very
Yes,
awkward
you were. She didn't
tennis
want to
episode.
say no.
She
Yeah.
She's
she-
like me. She
yeah.
didn't want to
Yeah.
say no. You
Of
always
course.
say yes.
Yes,
Say
true.
yes to everything.
True.
Yeah, and then you figure it out. And
And
that's
look,
what
hey,
we did too.
we did.
Can you do this? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
of
look,
course I
the
can.
episode came out great, and she was very funny, and we
That's
made it
all that
work,
matters.
baby. We
That's
made
right.
it work.
Yeah, it was
Actually,
very
it turned
funny.
out to be much funnier that she didn't know how
Yes.
to play
Yes.
tennis.
But we
So
did have to
it
do
was
a big
happy
we
accident.
did have to do a big rewrite to sort of match the.
But can
Yes,
we talk
of course.
about how cute she looked in
Oh,
her tennis
Yeah,
outfit?
okay.
Yeah, the tennis outfit, especially
Was-
with the wig, when
yeah.
she had
So
she had the headband on, like
Yeah.
the terry
Yes.
cloth headband on,
And then we
I mean,
had like the little thing, the little
The tennis bracelet?
the sweatbands.
Oh, the
And we
sweatbands,
had
that's
these
right,
little
that's right.
HMs on the sweatbands.
It
I think we
was-
may have had it on the headpiece
Yeah.
too, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly.
I think so too.
So yeah, so this is it's a Nike tennis outfit that we got and thought was so cute because it's her colors.
Right.
It's the Hannah colors, which worked out perfectly. And then we just took our Hannah artwork and,
And again,
crystallized it again.
no bedazzler is safe. Right?
And the crazy thing is, all of the crystals that we ever did on everything was hand done. We never did anything with like the pressing heat things. We never did. I a lot of times would just take
Oh,
stuff
so it wasn't
home
it
and
was
crystallize.
you just hot glued that stuff on.
Well, the funny story is we were hot gluing stuff on, and well, not hot gluing, but E600 or whatever it's called, 6000. But then when Dolly came to the show,
Oh, let's talk about that for a
let's
minute.
talk about Dolly for a second. She is one of the people who wore her own clothes,
Yep.
but they would bring us options because they're pros. So I would deal directly with her stylist, who was wonderful, and he saw us crystallizing one at a time, glue, crystallize stuff in the office, and he was like, "What are you doing? What is happening here?" And I was like, "Why? What are we doing? We're crystallizing. What?" So he said, "No. Let me get you something." So he went downstairs and he took out of his own kit a little George Forman grill, the little one
No.
that had been broken apart. Yep, the electric side. So a George Foreman grill, for those of you who don't know, are what? Tell them what it's
You make
Oh,
little
just
panini sandwiches.
Yeah,
out
it's
of
like
them.
a press,
like
a
a little
sandwich
sandwich
press.
press. They had broken it off, taken the part that plugs in, and he puts all of his crystals on it because the crystal comes. You have to buy it with the glue side. They have crystals that have hot glue already on it. So you put them upside down. It heats the crystals because the plate is hot, and you take a tweezer and you go like this. That changed our lives completely.
Forever.
So Dolly changed all of our lives, but your life
Changed
specifically.
all of our lives forever. Now, mind you, we had not done the concert yet.
Okay.
And the concert was like 4 months of crystallized outfits, crystals falling all over the place on on stage.
Right.
Had to recrystallize constantly. If it wasn't for Dolly's stylist, which I wish I knew his name right now, and I don't, that concert would have been a nightmare. Instead, it was me and Tish like therapy, sitting with a big plug-in hot plate, and we would play Amy Winehouse. That's what Amy Winehouse, Back to Black, and we would just sit and crystallize while the concert was going on.
And replace all the other crystals that had been dropped off.
Yep, and we would just replace all the crystals on the road. It was so great, but I still have that George Foreman grill.
That is awesome.
That's
I still use it.
amazing.
I still use it to this day.
So should we get
Yes.
to the last
Yes.
last episode or the last?
Yes,
Okay,
the last
and while we're doing that, just one last question.
Yes.
You said there were 2 guest stars that dressed themselves.
Larry David. Larry David was, and please ask me who was my favorite guest star.
Who was your favorite guest star?
Larry David!
Yay! All right, show us the thing.
I lost it when he came. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is probably the most recognizable.
Of the Hannah
all
things.
of it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll start with the belt.
Of
So
course.
this is the belt of the outfit. With the little
It is a
stud.
little
White
white
belt.
White belt, yeah, with the flying
Heart.
heart,
Which is
crystallized heart,
so sweet.
and little studs all the way around. It's white belt, and we have the fitting photo of her.
We'll
as
take
well.
pictures,
Take
yeah.
a picture of that, and the jacket.
Wow.
That
With
is the
all of
red
the- yes.
laced concert jacket, leather laced concert jacket,
Yep.
jeweled up.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what this
Bedazzled.
looks like, just
Look at
buy,
the doll.
buy a Hannah doll, because every Hannah doll in the world got dressed in Dahlia's jacket.
Yes, buy a freaking Hannah doll.
Which leads to the question of, so here you are designing all these, like pulling all this wardrobe together, both Miley and Hannah.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it gets placed on a doll that gets sold in Target or Walmart, wherever. And that's your design.
And they made an entire clothing line.
Yes, no, and I remember because my kids were old enough too, because there was a Hannah, Good Luck Charlie, and I think Wizards clothing line that was exclusive to Target.
Yeah.
And I remember because they had their big photos, like Bridget Mendler and stuff, like all the pictures were up there, and it replicated, within reason, some of the clothes that you had designed
Yeah.
exclusively.
It must
The doll
make you
was
feel-
literally wearing the exact outfits, just miniaturized.
Right.
But now, I know, for those of you who don't know, and I don't want to open a wound.
It's okay. We already opened Jason.
Yeah. The way it works in Hollywood, we're work for hire. So Dahlia created this stuff but doesn't own it. So the mothership has the right to go make the doll.
right. Yeah,
and do
that's
it.
right,
So
yeah.
Dahlia does not receive the financial rewards for that. But the question
Not
is,
a penny.
not a penny. But doesn't it feel good though, to know that you changed sort of the
yeah.
world in a way?
Yeah, it's hard when you're inside of it to feel it, to see it.
Right.
So yeah, I mean it does. Yes, like hearing your intro felt really good.
Right.
When people that I already know or work with me that are younger find out, oh my God, I just found out you did Hannah Montana. I'm like,
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
They're just like, but I didn't know.
Yeah, you
Like,
shaped
yeah.
a generation's fashion sense.
Yeah.
Kids played with a doll that you dressed essentially.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And not just like 5 kids, like
No.
millions of kids.
Around the world.
Well, we are here to shout you out.
That's
to
right.
say how amazing you are and how influential you are and how
And
you
I did not
changed-
hate you at the time.
I know. I know.
And as proof, in the years since, I
Yes.
have reached out multiple times to be like, hey, could you help me out? I got a thing. I need some advice. So there was very
No,
much of
I
that.
knew you didn't hate me when we did the Cimarellis thing with him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I ran into you, and that was my first time seeing you after the show, and you were so nice. You gave me a hug, and I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't know how to
This is
feel.
so
I was like,
weird.
oh God, he's being so nice. Is he being fake? Does he hate me?
No,
And then
no,
that's
no.
when I realized I thought you didn't like me. I didn't even really know it during the show that I thought that way.
Yeah.
I just knew that you hated coming to wardrobe.
Yeah.
I was scared to see you. When he said, oh, by the way, Jason's here, I was like, oh no.
That actually
saw you.
is sad for me because I really do, I think pride myself on being somebody that is pretty easygoing and
Right.
easy to work with, but I was so uncomfortable.
No, I
But that was
know
me,
you
yeah.
were, and that's what I think it is. I think it was that you were so trying to be like professional and not be emotional and not say like, that it was just your whole personality was just shut down.
You were just trying to hide the whiny baby inside.
But I saw who you were on set.
Yeah.
I saw how you were. So I knew that you were great, and I just knew that
Just not in wardrobe.
I just felt like I was hurting you.
No,
that's
it
not
wasn't
the
you.
first time I had
was
dealt
hurting-
with that.
I was hurting me. Dougie, do you have as we land the plane? Do you have like a little story or a little? Funny little
just
thing?
real quick. The only thing I want to say is that as writers, we loved you. We appreciated you. We knew you were changing the world. And but one of our favorite things was when we would create crazy outfits for you to build, because you shopped for people, but you also built stuff from scratch. So there was a lot of stuff that we would say, oh, and then we throw her in the duck suit, right?
Yeah.
We throw it,
Right.
And one of our favorite pastimes was making you come from wardrobe, because we said we need to know what that looks like, and we would make you come from wardrobe with either you or somebody like Leah dressed in the outfit. And I don't know, we will put this up on the socials, but we would do stuff like this all the time, which is bring them in and make the poor assistants wear the outfit just to see how miserable they were.
This picture is literally Dahlia with Leah, and Leah's in a reindeer outfit with a red nose, and she looks like she wants to kill herself.
Yeah, and that was so much fun for us.
So cute.
She's so cute, but she looked. That was actually what I looked like in every wardrobe video.
There it is. You and Leah.
Yeah.
She was
Trauma
such a
bond.
good sport. She was such a good sport.
But we would do that. We didn't really need to do that. I'm sorry. We just did it for.
Don't
We
be
were like
sorry. It
bored
was
out of our
fun.
minds. Go, let's call Dahlia and get somebody in a silly costume up here.
Oh my God.
That was very fun. And I was lucky to have people in my department that were good sports like that.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
So, answer the niblet.
Let's answer the
Let's
niblet.
answer the niblet.
We sort of like touched on it a little bit in the intro, but the show that you did after Hannah Montana was Alexa and Katie.
Yes, it was.
On Netflix.
Which is where I got nominated for an Emmy.
Ooh.
There we go. And
I'm going to pick up this thing you dropped. That.
so there's multiple Emmy nominees at the.
Well, no, there's multiple Emmy
I'm only
nominees,
a
but there's only one
Winner.
4-time Emmy winner.
And the writer from Hannah Montana was Heather Wordham,
Yes.
who is a personal favorite.
Yeah, I love Heather.
She's
Totally.
incredible.
And
was
she
the-
literally handed me that show on a silver platter.
Yeah.
She said, I wouldn't have anyone do it but you.
Oh, that's sweet.
She
I didn't even have to
created.
meet anybody, say anything.
That's the best.
She just gave me that
Offer
show.
only.
Yeah.
I have to say one more thing about that.
Yeah.
To this day, other than the neighborhood, up until that time, up until I just finished this show, that was my favorite show I have ever worked on from A to Z. From Heather being the executive producer and being so kind and so professional, to the actors, to the way I got to dress them.
Yeah.
And so it's funny that after that whole show was over and we were devastated it was over, then I got nominated for an Emmy as literally a cherry on top of that show. I was like,
Amazing.
how can this show get any better? And like, then it just keeps giving back. And the fact that show was what it was about was just so wonderful. This show, Hannah, was the most iconic thing I've ever done. It will last me my whole life. I will, especially now that we're doing this 20th anniversary thing. I'm here with
Amazing.
you guys and doing all kinds of stuff. But that was the easiest probably and the most me. Like I really just got to dress them how I wanted to, and then I was rewarded for it.
Yes.
Do you have anything here at the end that you want to promote? Any socials you want to throw out there, or just keep it at low key today?
No, I mean my Instagram is at DahliJune, which is DahliJoon. No, nothing else. That's it. Just
Like if you have a project that you're working on that's coming out in the next
no. I
6
am
months.
completely unemployed as of last Friday.
Oh,
As of
right,
Monday,
because the
as of
neighborhood is done.
The
and-
neighborhood is done. I finished my 4 years on it, which was wonderful.
Amazing.
And then I just did a small short film
So
for a friend.
if
and
you're
I'm
out there looking
unemployed.
for the best and most iconic wardrobe designer in the history of television, look her up.
That's
she's
right.
there. She's
and
ready
I
to go.
don't just do kids.
Okay.
That's right.
We really appreciate you being on the show.
I know, Dahlia.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
Definitely made all of the iconic looks and set the style and just and you dealt with very challenging personalities and you were very much appreciated.
And also we could have talked to you for like 3 more hours
and
not covered everything.
So we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks for hanging out with us for another episode. If you want to watch the pod, please check us out and subscribe to Best of Both Our Worlds YouTube channel. Helps us a bunch. If you like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, do all of the things. Follow us on Instagram at Best of Both Our Worlds Podcast, on TikTok at Best of Both Our Worlds, and on X at Babao Podcast. Nobody's on X anymore.
I wonder why.
Wow. This has been the Best of Both Our Worlds, created and hosted by Jason Earles, Douglas Danger, Lieblein, and Shannon Flynn. Executive producer Renee Colvert. Produced and edited by Jeffrey Murphy. Recorded at Quest Pacifica. Original music by Joe Serafini. Social media strategy by Shelby Stahl and Beloved Social. And we have a little end here. Do you wanna do a little thing?
Have a
with
go.
us?
Have a go.
Okay.
Yeah, we always have the guests do our end.
Yeah.
And with that, good day, Daddy. I say good day.
Outstanding.
Outstanding. Dahlia.
Yay.